Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Welcome back, everyone. We are here today. Well, a few weeks ago, it's probably about a month ago, we talked about dating in your 50s. Now, you all, or not all of you, but a lot of you are asking me about relationships and dating. And I get it. I'm not dating. I will never date again. Never say never, but I'm never dating again. But I was watching this fabulous friend of mine's, her Instagram the other day, and I've known she and her fabulous partner. And I'm like, maybe I should get them back on the show because the story is so interesting, to say the least. All right. So Paige Walker, she was on number 131. We're in the 250s, I believe, now with this podcast. So she came on. And so this gal, I love it because I can send her a text and she's like, boop, very quickly answer me back. And welcome to the show again, Paige Walker and your fabulous partner, James Davenport. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Happy to be back.
Thank you. And I was wondering the other day, I'm like, gosh, how many years have I known you? I met you right before COVID and at some random event. Yeah.
Was it the tanning modeling thing?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
How can I forget?
They still have those brochures up too.
I saw those the other day.
That's right. Tan to Glow. Oh my gosh, Paige, that is so funny. This is crazy because I was in Cabo, maybe drinking a little bit, and they text me and said, can you be on a photo shoot wearing a swimsuit when you get home? I'm like, great. Of course I will. Of course I will. I'm doing another shoot next weekend in Cabo, and I'm trying to get the bloat down. So, I know we're 60. So anyway, welcome to the show, you two.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I am so impressed with you, and I have been for years. You have done the influencing thing. You've done so much. You've been on my podcast. You are such an incredible mother, and I have talked to you in depth about your world of divorce and dating, and you talked about it in number 131 with me of having 4 children and co-parenting and how to do that. Well, when we were on 131, you weren't dating anyone. You were dating random. Yeah. I mean, not random.
I was like dating app.
Yes.
Olympics.
Right. Because would you say in that podcast that you had a mission to date, or were you?
Oh yeah, I've had a mission this whole time to date. I wanted to find a partner. It gets very boring and lonely. I feel like so many people are, just be single and just do what you want to do. And I'm like, I've already done that for so long. I just wanted to find someone that was a good match, not to get married, not to like be a clinger or whatever, but just to have somebody that was like kind of my go-to person. And so I was actively hoping and being disappointed over and over and over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's tough out there, isn't it?
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised at the dating pool isn't huge, but there was plenty of people to find that were in my general age that had a similar experience. Mm-hmm. And it's not impossible, but the only relationship that's really stuck is one that was not from the dating apps. Yeah.
Not on the dating app. Mm-mm. James.
Yes.
So you too. So Paige has 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 children.
I do.
Both divorced, got married very young. Tell us about your experience with dating, because we don't know that. I mean, we're about to know.
Yeah, so mine was want to know. much smaller sample size compared to Paige. She'll tell me the stories, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How is that a thing?
I get borderline mad because I'm like, you don't even know. You can't even truly appreciate me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you don't have 100 stories of just wheels off ridiculous.
Yeah.
He barely even got into it.
Yeah,
at
I
all.
didn't really date a whole lot. I went on a few dates. I didn't really enjoy the process of the apps. It was a lot of, just having a conversation and then just like disappearing. And I'm like a relationship builder. I like to like really know the people that I'm talking to, and I just didn't like surface level onto the next one, swipe culture. It just didn't vibe with me. And a couple of my friends actually who have been following her forever, they're like, you should follow this girl. She's like your same age and she's super cute and bubbly and she talks about this stuff. You should go check her out. So
that's when I was in the roasting of the dating app guys. Like,
oh yeah.
Not to be mean at all, but there are so many funny things to say about these people and their pictures or whatever. And then I would try to do some type of stories about like, I'm in an Uber heading to a date or whatever, just kind of some sort of entertaining stuff. So that was like, it was widely known that I was single, dating, looking. And so our now mutual friend that I didn't know until I met through James, but she was like, why don't you
watch her stuff? She's got funny things to say about it. And I vibed with it right away. And I was like, she's also super cute.
Yeah, she's cute.
So cute.
She's so cute, and you're cute too.
Oh,
but
thank
y'all are so cute. You know that,
Thank
right?
you.
know
Thank
that. Y'all, if you're not, if you have, we're on YouTube now, and you can see how cute they are. But follow along on YouTube as well. But you have to follow both of you. It's on both of your feed. Your cute little. Oh my gosh, it's just adorable, and we'll have that in the show notes. Okay, so James, you slid into her DMs.
I did, yeah. Very out of character for me.
I know.
Now knowing it, like knowing what I know now, I'm like, I cannot believe you did that.
I can't either, actually, now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting. If you weren't a dating swiper.
It was just the level of frustration of all the other options that had been presented. And I also was like, she's this big time Instagram girl. She's never even going to see this. What's it going to hurt? So
which is laughable because I think I get like 4 DMs a day. Okay. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm overflowed. None of them were men. I've gotten more men followers over the last like maybe year or two, but it was almost all women because it was all the stuff that Jenny, whenever I was still doing the blog and stuff with Jenny, it was just like makeup and girly things. And then, so to have a dude in the DMs, I was like, who is this gentleman?
I thought you were saying it's a woman wanting to date you. That's what I thought you were handing it. Well,
No, I mean, there may be some of those
maybe.
too. Who knows?
Then there's that. Not there's anything wrong with that, of
No,
course.
not
Or
at
not.
all.
Okay, so you
So I just threw a shot in the dark because I figured
did.
it wasn't going to matter. Like, what's it going to hurt? She's never going to see this. Somebody else is probably running it for her. And they're just going to laugh at it and move on.
okay.
And then like 5 minutes later, I get the
Because
team
she
back.
does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Well, I looked at
Now
his
what do I do?
picture and I thought, well, he's really cute, but he looks like early 20s or something.
Oh.
I was like, he looks so young. So I was
Yeah.
like, all right, well, we'll see. And then I pulled quickly, like, we need to FaceTime because that's my ultimate screening process.
Yes, that's what Heather. So Heather said that a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. It's
She
like
said-
a must.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So
It's pretty
smart.
much a first date because then the actual first date, not only do you feel like you know each other, it takes a lot of the uncomfortableness out of it, but you don't have to go waste a few hours of your day with someone who's going to be not a vibe, not a fit. And you can tell that. I would FaceTime all the time with these people.
Did you look cute when you were FaceTime or did you care? You're always cute, but
I mean,
Right.
I wasn't too concerned. It's not like, let's do a full glam, get ready for
Sure.
a FaceTime.
Right.
It was just like,
okay.
well, let's just see what this person's all about.
And what was it like?
Well, occasionally it'd be like, oh yeah, I'm a Mormon. And I'm like, okay, next. Like, I can't be a Mormon. I'm not a Mormon. How's that ever going to work? Or, you could tell if just the personality said so much. And if they were like scared of me or scared to take a call. And I'm like, well, that's kind of an ick. I want like a confident, but James was like, yeah.
Oh.
And then,
go
and
for
I
it.
knew he was a model. He'd been a model for like, I don't know, 20 years or something.
Yeah.
And so I expected him to be, very good looking. But then as soon as the FaceTime popped up, I was like, whoa,
Hey,
he's very, very attractive.
just a minute. Let me go get my glam on.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, let's see how this goes.
Okay. So you FaceTime, then what? What did you think?
At first I was slightly nervous because that was a new approach for me. But then I was like, it won't really matter. Nothing. The worst that happens, And our little banter from the exchange on Instagram was just very lighthearted and fun. She roasted me like in the first thing. She's like, "What are you, 19?"
I know. I can't help but roast. It's like it's a bit of a toxic trait.
Yeah.
And that fits my vibe. Like I'm just a easygoing, joking kind of dude. And yeah, the conversation flowed pretty easily. So
Yeah.
I knew like a FaceTime conversation was going to be just fine.
And I think people are worried to FaceTime because they're like, there's going to be awkward silence. I'm like, oh, no. If I'm like, I don't want to be like a total boss and take over the whole conversation. But if I'm bringing it up, I'm not going to let it just be like,
Yeah. No. Yeah. And that's yours.
so
Yeah. You can
it
go
was,
leave.
It was always fun. And I was going to,
Yeah.
I would also stay on first dates for like hours with someone I had zero interest in. Cause I'm like, I love people. I love your story. I want to hear about your jobs. And then I'm like, that also doesn't work. Cause then they think you're interested and really you just love talking and
Paige.
getting to know people. I've learned a lot.
Yeah. You have.
Yeah. But we had great FaceTimes and then we
Yeah.
FaceTimed, I think the next couple days. Then we went to our actual first date
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, hey, what's up? It wasn't like,
Yeah.
I'll be in the red beret
Exactly.
and you'll be in the purple, it
Wear
wasn't
a
any of
purple
those
lapel.
weird,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
is that him? Could that be him? It already felt
Exactly.
like we at least had one date or kind of knew each other.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's it's interesting with FaceTime and Zoom, and now interviewing anyone for a position, always FaceTime first. I don't want to. No one waste your time. And then, of course, it's just so much easier, and it's interesting and it's exciting to hear this because that is a whole new time saver. You know what I mean? Like that's
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, nobody wants to go on a hideous first date and be stuck there and have
Ever.
to be polite and especially because some of them were like in Dallas or Frisco. I'm like, I got to drive all that way.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
weird. And then I'm, all that.
Yeah. And you're scared. Yeah. You're both in your 40s though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean that he's not 19. Good
He's
for
not
you.
19.
Yeah.
And this is the youngest guy I've dated. So we were both class of 2000. So we have all the
What?
same ridiculous references and humor. And yeah, I usually liked a little bit older,
Yeah.
but I was like, I wasn't opposed. It just
But
kept.
don't you think too, when you date when you're younger, men are younger, less mature than women. Is that fair to say,
Yeah, it's a
James?
fact.
Do you?
Yeah,
Is it fact?
absolutely.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you have come together with your age, right? Like you're on the same, or is he still immature?
He is extremely immature. No, just kidding. I feel like a lot of the men, if we're just talking emotionally, okay, they might have this great career and people skills and all that, but like deep down, I feel like the emotional maturity is just lacking usually in the relationship. So it gets to a point where, okay, well, his max is a 6 and I need a 9, not looks, but just overall everything. And if all they can give is a 6, it's going to get to the point where you're just like, this is unfulfilling. This is not working. And so James, luckily, for being the same age, is very emotionally intelligent. And whenever he went to therapy and was working on himself, he actually did it. He wasn't just like, went to therapy, check.
Yeah.
Okay, go back to how I was. You know?
Yeah, that's great. Because we were talking about this before the show, and therapy is accepted now. Back when my parents, or even me, I think your mom and I probably, it wasn't so much an accepted thing. Like it was a sign. My dad and my men in my life just say it was a sign of weakness back then.
Yes. Or like, she needs to be in a straitjacket.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And emotionally unstable, or So having that in our back pocket now we can even have therapy on Zoom, which is
I
so
will do
nice.
therapy with ChatGPT, and the answers it gives me are so valid and so good. Yeah.
Tell me
so
what you're talking about.
so I'll go on ChatGPT and I will type in a question about like maybe something that I'm feeling about with James, or anything you would bring up to a therapist.
No
And the
way.
response is so good. So it's like, it'll kind of validate and be like, okay, well, you're very brave for admitting this and blah, blah, blah. And then it will go into like some steps and it's like, this
What?
is really good. And then I said something about that on Instagram, and a therapist in the comments was like, I'm afraid you're correct. ChatGPT is an excellent therapist.
No way.
Yeah.
She like read me some of the replies, and I was like, that's actually really good.
And it could be with anything. It's like if it can just scour the whole internet and give
Well,
you
yeah.
this response, it's
In
like,
seconds.
Yeah.
yes, it's very helpful.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And I'm scared. What if we wake up one day and it's gone? Like TikTok.
I don't know. I know. But that's a quick, if you just have like, okay, this one thing is on my mind. It's like, well, let me just ask ChatGPT.
I love
See
this.
what it gives me. But a lot of the stuff where I was able to kind of grow as a person and as a partner was just done through reading
Yeah.
and having moments of like light bulb moments where I was like, oh my gosh, no
Yeah.
wonder. Stuff I would have never known if I wasn't pushed to the point of like, this is ridiculous.
Right, exactly. So, James, both you and Paige got married very young, correct?
Yeah.
Tell us about because was it after college or after high school, or how was
Yeah,
that?
it was right after college. I feel like it was kind of that typical societal norm. Like, okay, you've done college, now immediately you need to get married. Looking back, that was probably not the smartest idea.
The dang societal norms.
There's
but
just
I got
so
married,
much.
I was 22, but I got engaged in college.
Oh, you were dropped, weren't you? Didn't you get a drop?
It wasn't a drop.
Wasn't-
We went just straight to the engagement, do the little
Layered
candle
in.
pass,
Candle
blow out the
pass.
candle, like Kappa Delta.
Yeah.
I mean, just so young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you really don't know yourself at all at that point. And there's just so much evolving and changing that happens in the next 10, even 15 years.
And we're so conditioned, like the societal norms, to like, oh, well, this is next.
Yeah.
So,
It
and me being
is.
like a go-getter, I'm like, well, get on it.
Right.
Get
Yeah.
engaged and have kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But I did hear or read or something that a lot of I don't know if it's women and men, but mostly women kind of have this awakening at the end of their 30s, whether it's like, I do not like my job. Am I going to be able to go on like this for another 30 years? I do not like this marriage. And it's just like an eruption of like, okay, I feel like I'm in a cage. Something's going to have to change.
Sure.
And everything just kind of started making sense in a different way. And then the more I heard about like different celebrities and people getting divorced, they were like 37, 38, 37. I was like, it really is.
It's a thing.
It's like that is like the window of your life when you're just like, wait, just a dang second. What? I'm just going through the motions and don't even know who I am, what I'm doing, what I want. And I don't think it's this.
Yeah.
No.
You're actually not really forced into any sort of self-discovery at that point either. Like you've got this like pre-planned, route for your life that you think
very
is what's supposed to
comfortable
be.
if you're just going through the motions with someone. I would have never been pushed to change, grow, see things with a whole different lens if I hadn't gotten to the end of the marriage and was forced to, because you're just like
Same.
on rock bottom, and then rock bottom there's one lower than that and you're like, no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the changes you have to make, because everyone that seems to be in like a what we would consider a happy marriage or healthy marriage, there's just not a lot of stuff that's going to push you to have to really look at yourself but romantic relationships, especially since I hadn't really dated since, I don't know, 2001 or something.
Right.
There's like a mirror of a lot of things I didn't know I needed to work on. And it was just very eye-opening.
Yeah.
And I would have never known.
Right.
And I would have never grown.
Right.
Would have never known or grown.
When you guys were in the dating world before you met each other, did you experience people that just did not work on themselves? You could tell that was not like you just knew right away too. Like, I mean, I've had business partners or experiences when they're like, I've never made a mistake in my life. This person would say it, and I'm like, what?
Excuse
I mean,
me.
who can't say that they've not made mistakes? Right?
Yeah. So you've never learned anything then.
You never
only
learned
learn
anything.
from mistakes.
And I've said this ever since I started this podcast, and I've said it my whole life, was I've learned more from my mistakes than I have my success by far, because I remember being kicked in the ass.
Yes,
remember, know
absolutely.
how it feels, and that's just such a farce. When someone, to me, that's a red flag, So,
That is like a
completely
sea
agree.
of red flopping flags.
James, how long was your marriage?
We were married for just shy of 15 years. We
Wow.
were together for 20 years.
Okay. All right. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
And that was about the same. We were
Were you
married
about the
15 and we're together maybe like 18 or 19.
And Paige, you and your former spouse co-parent very well.
Oh, yes.
I mean, is he married?
No.
No. Okay. Y'all great with 4 children, co-parenting very well. You have an 18-year-old, a 16, 9, and
13.
Whoa. Okay. How is co-parenting a challenge at all?
It can be, definitely. I see what their relationship is, and I'm so envious. They make it so easy. They are just very respectful to each other in the way
We're actual real friends.
Yeah.
Like we'll get on the phone and chit chat for an hour, but it wasn't always like that. And I had kind of my mindset on the conscious uncoupling, expanded family idea. There's not going to be a hate. There's not going to be a pick sides. There's not going to be we're talking trash about your dad. There's just no point to that. So even when I maybe wanted to say something rude or I wanted to, just did not. And so I kept it very
Tight.
as nice. And so now it's just so normal. Like I don't have to be like, well, I better watch what I say. It's just, we're just great friends. And
It is what it is.
yes. And I feel like I wish more people would kind of operate that way. Even if you're faking it till you make it, just pretend to be nice. If you live together for however many years, you can certainly be casual friends without you're not romantically involved anymore. What's there to argue about?
So co-parenting is a challenge for you.
Yeah, it definitely can be. And I hope to get to the place that she is. It's so nice being around her and like getting her like input on it and like how to try to move things along in that direction. And I'd say I've seen a couple of, little glimmers of hope here recently.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So just trying to work towards that.
Right. Well, because it takes 2.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes a village for sure. Well, that's good. And that's encouraging because unfortunately, I think you're not the norm.
No.
I'm not the norm at all. Bob
You
and
have
I-
a good co-parenting?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
beautiful. And it wasn't what you just said earlier. It wasn't always perfect.
No.
Right.
You have to get through
No.
like maybe a couple of years of like, you just want to snark
Yes.
But once there's no more resentment left over from the relationship. It feels like it was so long ago.
Yeah.
And he just feels like an old friend, and
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yeah. And you know what? You grew up with each other.
Right.
You were together for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were together. You're in essence, we were all still together. But you grow up together and you see those changes, and why? It's just tough on the kids. You know,
That's
we
the
can
thing.
take
That's the
anything,
only
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how old are your children?
They're 10, 8, and 6.
10, 8, and 6.
Yeah. So still kind of little.
Yeah, they're still little.
They are, yeah.
They are still little. Okay, you guys are not married. You are dating. You're in the dating world. You're in Fort Worth. You're not far from me here in Fort Worth. You are in Grapevine.
I am.
How far apart? You know how many minutes it takes to get
About
you.
35.
35, yeah. And that works well for you two, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you do?
Yeah.
I'm not moving. He's not moving.
Yeah. I love this.
There's not a lot. Well, I knew I wanted to go into something that was just mine. I don't care about society, getting married, doing it, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? If we're enjoying what we're doing
Yeah.
and we don't live together for many, many more years, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. James, your career is in real estate, correct?
Yeah.
In Grapevine, in the Dallas area, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, and that gives you flexibility, but it's still demanding on
Yes,
weekends, especially. I would
definitely.
assume, right? Are
Yes.
you residential or
Yeah. Residential for now.
For now, yeah. And so that career, people often forget about co-parenting in their careers. I don't know how much your former partner, her job is limitations, but then sharing the children. And, you know, I was watching something last night, and they were talking about, it's 2 days on and 2 days off. And, you know, I was just thinking about the child having to pack all their stuff, I just remember that was one of the hardest, other than when I had to share my child at Christmas or something like that. And it's just like, and there was another person involved.
I feel like we have very different co-parenting schedules. So Zach and I generally stick to like a 2-2-3. So it's a lot of switchbacks. But when the kids are gone for 2 days, like we kind of start to miss each other. And then, so I don't think we could do week on, week off. Like I would feel so distant and sad. And 2 of my girls stay with me most of the time, and they go to his sometimes, but like, it's whatever you want it to be. If you just want to hang here, it's fine. They don't come out of the rooms either way. It's not like we're missing out on this fantastic time with our children, but I have Zach. He makes the schedule because he has the corporate job, and I'm self-employed with many different things going on, but I don't have like a Monday meeting or a this or that, whereas he does. So he makes a schedule according to his travel plans and this and that. And if I have something in the future, I will just type it in the calendar and be like, no kids, please. I've got 2 shoots this day and I'm going to dinner or whatever. So he's like, oh, okay. Then, so we don't have like this by the book schedule. It's just sort of like, if something's coming up in the calendar, he'll work around it. And then since he makes the calendar, I don't even know what he has going on. I don't care. So
Right. How long have you been divorced?
I think it's been like 4, maybe 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
Like 2,
Okay. And that's pretty fresh.
3 maybe.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, blending families. Have your kids met each other?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. And because I think about this. Greg's birthday party was in 2023, and y'all were together. That was pretty soon into it, right?
I think we started dating in 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Okay.
But
Day
our
after
kids,
Thanksgiving.
I don't remember when exactly our kids met, how far into it. But it was a very casual whatever. But now at least 2 of my daughters are like, these are my stepsisters, and they're like very close. They love them a lot. My 2 middle ones are the ones that kind of have the most in common with all 3 of his.
Because they're little. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all kind of into the same girly things, or it works. But whenever we do stuff as a whole huge group, it's always very fun and successful. And sometimes he'll bring them all over because he has the vast majority of custody. So there's every other weekend off, which is, so there'll be a lot of weekends he has them. And if I have mine too, I'm like, oh, sweet. We'll just have like everybody over and just, they can hang out and we can actually hang out. So time alone is a struggle.
Yes. Yeah. That is a struggle. Yeah. And this too shall pass.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But it is a struggle. I do remember that phase. I do remember that.
Yeah.
My former husband was dating someone that the partner was deceased. And so full-time children. I mean, having kids full-time.
Yeah.
And then we have a family member. She has her children full-time, and there's no downtime. I mean, it's 24/7. And if
The
you're
mental
married,
load
yes.
of all of that enough is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very thankful to have someone to share that with. And even though it feels like a lot when you're I'm the only one, I'm the only adult doing that, at least I do get the breaks here and there. But Zach and I will just call each other and be like, hey, can you get Blake? Yeah, sure. Can you get Kylie? So almost every day I still have to do a thing. It's not like I'm free. I'm going to go crazy. Mom's gone wild. Woohoo.
Right.
It's just like, okay, well, I got to pick this kid up still. And then they'll be like, well, can we just stay at your house? So it's very fluid.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of breaks. But with James, it's like very little time to get work done or even just take a minute to like
breathe.
Just reset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you meet each other's children? Early
Maybe
on?
like a couple months after we started dating.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like, and it wasn't, I feel like since my kids had met boyfriends before, I don't want to hide who I am or what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they would see me on FaceTime and they might be like, oh, who's that? Whatever. Oh, well, that's James.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So they were slightly exposed to the idea of James. So by the time we went to some comedy show with my brother, my parents, and my oldest daughter, it was just like, oh, hey, James. Like kind of almost like our first date. It wasn't like let's sit down. You have a new daddy now. It wasn't anything like weird.
Yeah.
It was just like, and same with him, like his youngest daughter especially would run in and be like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
She was like 3 or 4 at the time.
Yeah.
And this is mature relationships. In my experience is, and it was so wonderful, but I do see this a lot. I see it with someone we know too, that you have to remember that your children have a mother. Paige is not their mother. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I treat them like I probably treat them so much better because I'm not going to ever get onto them or whatever. They're just like my sweet
say
little.
That you're their mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
That's that is interesting to me. I see some people that I know, and it's like, oh, this is your mom. It's not your mom.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird to me. That's to me so disrespectful.
I feel like that is
Agreed.
like such a line crossed. I feel like it's more of a aunt or even like a babysitter relationship or something where you're just like,
yeah,
I love these kids and they're fun, but I'm not about to tell them
no,
you do me.
No.
I just can't even imagine. And same with James and my kids. It's all very like lighthearted and
right.
Yeah.
And and kids will work the system. We know that.
Of course.
Oh my gosh. I remember Kennedy when she was much younger. I just didn't think it was a good idea to have French manicure. I didn't think so. And she pushed the envelope with her stepmother and said, oh, I want a French manicure. Well, wait, would your mom want you to have that? I love that. You know? And wasn't trying to be a friend, wasn't trying to be your mom. And I think that is where lines are crossed. And that's where unhealthy relationships can certainly fall into place. You know what I mean? Like you're not trying to be his kid's mom and you're not trying to be the dad.
Right.
No, not even at all.
But
with stuff like that, like and I've never met James's ex-wife and I don't really know, I just know like barely anything about her, but it would be nice to have some sort of connection with her so I could almost be like, your mom would not, but I don't know, I don't know her. So I'm like, I hope I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can't imagine being like, all right, we're getting lash extensions. Now go to your mom. It's like, we're going to go get a haircut or something. But it's like, I'm also pretty like nothing. I don't pick a lot of battles. Like, so when I do, my kids are like, oh no.
Yeah.
And so it's so hard to know how somebody else parents or their rules. And I don't know. So,
yeah. How can you tell when someone is genuinely over their ex? Because I would assume in the dating world, you might have hit that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, James?
I think so. I think an overall commitment to like really getting to know you and not really feeling like there's a wall up or holding back. The one person I dated, she definitely wasn't over her ex, and it showed itself after. It was like, so do you want to hang out? Like, we had a good time. No, you said you wanted to do this, but then we're not doing it. What's going on? Yeah.
Right.
It's because she was still not over her ex, which is fine. Everybody's, got their own timeline, but just like be honest about it.
Oh yeah. Don't get in the dating world.
Right.
I know. I think, so how I would know I was over an ex for me, it was almost a little more difficult to get over the boyfriends because that was so emotional. And, you know, after a long marriage, you're like, okay, well, we're going our separate ways, but it doesn't feel like you have to like just get over, you know, it's just kind of like there's other sadness and other things that are upsetting, but I would just wait. Like I would try to go head first into the awful feelings. Just, I'm not like, let's pop a Xanax. I'm like, oh no, we're going to be miserable. Right. And it would only be maybe like a week or less. And then like when I stopped having those feelings of like anything, like bad, good, whatever, and I was like back leveled out and be like, okay, I think I can date. But with the marriages, I think if someone's showing a lot of hatred or a lot of like, my ex is psycho, or maybe not taking any responsibility for their half of the whole, no matter how it ended. Okay, so, you know, James, let's say somebody punched their ex in the face and they're like, well, that's why they got divorced. No.
Didn't just
There's 1,000 things that lead up to that. And so maybe you look at the last thing and be like, okay, that was the final blow up. Yeah. But if people can't admit where they maybe weren't the strongest partner or the best in their marriage throughout the whole thing, then it's like, go back and just take a little look at yourself and see what maybe what you could have possibly had to do with it.
That's growth. I mean, huge growth. And people don't always work on themselves.
Right. And that goes back to the therapy thing and like needing some sort of event or something to push you into it. I think we, as you said, we definitely have like accepted it a lot more, but like the starting point isn't as naturalized as it should be. It should be like, oh, this is just something I should do because I can make myself better. Not like I need some event to happen to like really knock me on my butt and I have to use this in order to get back up. Right. It could be a tool just like for regular growth, like anything else you would do, like going to the gym and training your body, like do that for yourself too.
Yes, for yourself. Exactly. What do you say to young kids, I saw kids, graduating college that are in a hurry to get married? James?
Don't.
You can say don't, but people said that to me too. I know. It's like, go ahead and do it if you feel like that person is going to be like your long-term success. Try not to just get caught up in the everybody else is doing it or you think that's what you're supposed to do. I feel like a heavy focus should be on love language and communication. And the most important is attachment style.
Yes.
Until I learned about attachment style, I repeated the same mistakes with very, 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 very different men, but their attachment style was all the same. So it all ended the same. And I could not put my finger on it. And so when I read the book Attached, I was like, oh my gosh, it explains my entire dating history from like high school to current day. And now I know. Yeah. And so I knew maybe I was attracted to that toxic push-pull avoidant type guy, but then that made me anxious and then I wanted to win. So I'm going to get this guy. And then you end up in a disaster of a relationship because it was not healthy to start with. Right. And so just so much to be learned. And in college or whatever, you're just looking for the cute guy that's fun and he's nice, whatever, it should be fine. Yeah. There's just so much more to it than that. But I also see the flip side, the biological clock and all that, you just don't know what's going to happen. And if you want to have a family and you almost have to just go for it and hope for the best.
But we can do that without a partner now.
I know. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we do have that luxury now, which that wasn't an option, especially in the Catholic Church. Yeah. And then, you know, when you guys, that probably wasn't an option though. But what do you think about that? You think when the minute that came out of my mouth, you were like, no, don't do it.
Yes. With the caveat, like you were talking about, unless you're committed to doing the work separately and together. Like if you don't know your love language and you don't know your attachment style, you have no business getting married.
But when people would say do the work, I'm like, what does that even mean? It's like you don't even know. And if you don't even know, then you probably shouldn't be committing your entire life to someone. Right. Right. But just like dissolving of conflict. So with James, I'll be like, I'm going to file a complaint. I will never hold something in because I'm like, there's absolutely no reason for built up resentment. So I'm like, this is driving me nuts.
Really? Okay.
And James will be like, you know, sometimes I feel like as most men are, quick to defend. Well, I did this and I did that but I didn't mean to. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you didn't mean to. I compare it to like, if you like stepped on somebody's foot, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You didn't mean to, but you still stepped on my foot. So like, I need to tell you, like you stepped on my soul. Or you
Right.
like, you hurt my feelings or whatever.
Sure.
And just to hear me out, and
Yeah.
who cares if you don't even ever revisit this again? Just, I need to feel heard. And so my complaint filing, it's not that often, but I'm not going to just sit on
Right.
something that's bothering me.
So James, Paige she files a complaint if she has a conflict resolution or if she has a conflict with you. What do you do? Not that Paige would ever cause conflict at all, but what do you do if she's done something to you that...
It's the same. It's a safe space. So I know that I can come to her and be like, hey, this, I felt this way when this happened.
Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, oh no. And then every now and then I'll be like, okay, what is it like? Is it 1 minute? Where I'm like, I'm not saying one word for a minute, and you just
go
riff on your life. Yeah, just go. What's on your mind? Good, bad.
Good.
And a minute, you think, oh, I'll just say 5 things. I mean, it goes.
Feels
that's
like
a
an
long
eternity.
time, and especially men don't usually speak up about that kind of stuff. So it's like just everything that's bothering you, everything you're excited about, everything. And I'm just like,
okay.
And I wait, and then when he's done, then I can be like, oh, that's great, or whatever. Just
anyway. So what do you want for dinner?
yeah, it's like you may have the floor, and then I can kind of know where his head's at. And
Is this new to you, James?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think I've ever been closed off by any means. I just don't think I had the appropriate tools to like do the conversation in the right way. And I'm still working on it. Like the whole sort of like my immediate reaction is defensiveness, and I'm very much trying to alleviate myself from that.
Yeah.
And I'm learning through patience, through Paige, and like just helping me walk through that and understand like what a good response is. And
for me,
for
it's like
her,
I feel like I try to
right.
give you like a guidebook of like,
Sure.
this is kind of what I want to hear. So if you could just go by step 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I know that you're never intentionally trying to hurt. And so I don't really, the defensiveness, saying, well, didn't try to hurt. I know that. I already know that. I'm just saying like,
Because he's a good guy.
Right.
Yes.
It's also like on me to understand that like her, complaint isn't a personal attack.
No, it's
like
not even
just
about
a
him.
voicing of the thing, so it gets out in the open and then can go away, and that she's
Sure.
not holding on to it anymore.
Exactly. Isn't that refreshing?
Yeah.
Isn't that
And
something
then I
new?
appreciate after she does it
Yeah.
for sure.
Did you know anything was out there like that, or were you feeling
No.
no?
I
Yeah.
guess because that's absolutely why I would always do the defensive things. Like, what do you mean? I called you twice yesterday. Like,
Sure.
but
right.
it wasn't about that.
Exactly.
Like, so,
exactly.
Like, get rid of your own personal stuff and
Yeah.
like just hear them out.
You two are happy.
Very.
it's a healthy, stable, happy place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
I mean, it's so nice. I've told you, everyone out there, I love my husband so much. He is so fabulous. He's great. He's handsome. He's fit. He's everything to me. I won't do this again.
yeah.
I just won't, because it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of emotional. Loving someone so incredibly much is so hard. In a way, it's easy, but it's just the responsibility, and just because. And then there's not another Greg Blackmon. There's just not. You know what I mean? Like, and I say that with tears in my eyes, but just at this phase, I've talked dating till we're blue in the face on this show. I've talked relationships. I've talked death. I've talked happiness, marriage, but seeing people like you two that are in my life that are happy and perfectly content with your relationship, not pressuring you or you to get married. That is so lovely. And I want this to spread into the universe, because that's a rarity, you two. And you know that, right?
Yeah. And I just feel like it's okay to make your own rules, even if that's really no rules. Like, there doesn't need to be a hard and fast, we wait 7 months before we introduce the kids. We wait. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just vibe with the flow, man.
Yeah.
Just go with whatever feels
Yeah.
right.
And the United States does that a lot. That's our country. We put people in a box.
Yes. And I'm not a box type.
No.
Get me out of the box.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it works for me to have, and I'll explain that to my ex. He's like, do y'all share a bank account? Are you getting married? I'm like, whoa,
Wow.
never. You can have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that lives totally separately, that you just spend fun time together and support each other. And there doesn't have to be a joint bank account or like a
Yeah.
big
That's bizarre.
minivan. I mean, just no.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. But people are so conditioned to think that it's this one way and one way only. And
that's not going to make me more or less committed to you if we had a minivan or not. Like, you know.
Exactly.
Dang it.
I know. A minivan? It's something I never had, Wime. I never had a minivan. I don't want one. I never had. I did say
me
that.
either. I was like,
Girl.
I'm way too swaggy and cool to have
Oh.
a minivan.
Woof.
No diss to the minivan
Please tell me.
swagger wagon ladies out there.
Do you have a minivan?
No, absolutely not.
You and I are talking shit about a minivan.
I know.
And he's like, well, I actually have the
well,
new
my
model.
Dodge Caravan. No, I feel like I'm not like, oh my gosh, what do people think of me? But I'm just way too concerned about, as an Enneagram 3, myself
three.
is my brand. I'm not cruising a minivan.
You're 3. What are you?
2.
2, 5. Oh. Ooh. What are you, Wime? He doesn't even know what he is. Oh, no. We've got work to do.
Yeah, another thing you should know before you get married.
Oh, my gosh.
Young
before
man.
Yes. Oh, you've got to do the Enneagram before you do anything.
You know what's
Right.
also fascinating? So Zach is a 9. Oh, he actually retested recently and wasn't. I was like, I think you're a 9. But because I tested as a 7, but am a 3. So when I look at the Enneagram Institute website and it says trouble spots between the 9 and a 3, it is a script of the end of our marriage.
Oh,
So that is no joke either.
there's no joke.
And I bet if you looked at yours, it would be because his ex-wife is also a 3. So I'm like, are you sure you want this? Because especially
here we
at
are.
first, I drew a lot of similarities. I'm like, oh no, he's not going to probably want to be with someone like me.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what Greg is. That's crazy. I need to figure that out. What am I going to do, though?
Well, the best part about it is understanding like kind of the lens that they see through.
Sure.
Right.
And maybe their weak spots, so you cannot be so hard on them. Like one of the 9's weak spots was like having a hard time prioritizing tasks.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, you dummy, like why would you do the dishes when we're trying to go to the airport? It's just like that's not coming naturally. So like give him a pass, a
Oh,
little grace, just to be.
okay. What would your one advice be? Okay, think about this. What is your advice to people out there dating at any age, of course? What would be the one piece of advice you would give them before we end the show? Does anybody want to go first?
Okay, I'll go first.
He'd
I'm
say,
like, immediately yes. I would say to figure out your attachment style and do not date the attachment style that does not gel with that one, because it turns into it isn't a fit. And I feel like one of the biggest predictors of relationship success is having a compatible attachment style. And it may at the beginning not feel that exciting because you're not in that toxic, I don't know if he likes me, I don't know if but you're setting yourself for a healthy love and not a toxic cycle. And I know so many girls will relate to that because the toxic cycle is hard to get out of.
It's a thing.
It's an addiction.
Okay. It's your turn.
I was going to say attachment styles too, but I would additionally say sort your own stuff out first. Like understand who you are, what your own triggers are, and how you might trigger somebody else.
Yeah.
And then not be afraid of that. Like just because you have something to work on doesn't like make you less than.
Also, just put yourself out there, because I had to learn my triggers through dating.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known, like, oh my gosh, I have this like massive rejection sensitivity and like abandonment. I would have never known, because I was like, my childhood is great. I don't care. Oh no. When you like put yourself in a relationship where those feelings are heightened, you can find out what your triggers are and be like, ooh,
Yeah.
this is majorly triggering. So work on yourself, but also put yourself out there. So
For sure.
you could end up getting lucky and finding a great fit, but you also will learn so much about yourself through these romantic relationships.
No joke. And let me just say this, because I heard this the other day. He will change.
Oh no.
No. It's just not happening, y'all. People do grow up.
Sure.
Grow up, compromise, whatever. But an attachment style is rooted from childhood, the way your family was with each other, and you just can't shake that. And I even got to the point where I recognized keywords in their bio that was like, ooh, that's an avoidant.
Really?
I just want a cool girl, or I just want someone that lets me be me. Like those type of things.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that you don't want to talk about anything stressful. Like the moment that a conversation would turn into something that was slightly high level emotionally, the avoidant guys would be like,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Well, I think y'all are fabulous, and I'm so happy for y'all.
Well, thank
you.
you.
Oh my goodness. I mean, come on. This is just so sweet, and y'all are so cute. You know
Thank
you're
you.
cute, right? You do know that. Yeah. I mean, they're
We'll
cute.
take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll
We
take
have
it.
our
Well,
moments.
I know you're having a good time. You're still raising babies.
Mm-hmm.
You're still raising children. We always will be. Everybody's like, oh, at 18 they're done. No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No. Oh gosh, no.
And just keep the faith and keep going with your dating, because I probably went on 150 dates. I had 2 other long-term boyfriends. Like, you try until you
yeah,
get it right. And
I know. You just don't. I mean,
Don't
just
give up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Don't give up, but don't repeat either. Like,
Yeah.
Learn.
I
from
had to
your
repeat like
mistakes.
3 to be like, what in the hell am I doing?
Three-peater over here.
Yeah.
Just like the Dallas
But it was
Cowboys.
quick. And I was like, let me draw the conclusions of where I'm the common denominator here, here, and here. Okay, this is my problem. And you have to be willing to be like, I suck, and I suck at these things. And you can't just be like, oh, it was all them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was mostly them.
Yeah.
But you still have a
Maybe.
part in it.
Yeah.
Baby, you still have a part. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you for having
having
So
us.
sweet, and sharing this information and knowledge with everyone, because people want to know. I mean, and not even like your mom wants to know for her child. I mean, how this is, and myself, and I have a 26-year-old. Just you can just help how you can. Well, thank you. How can we find y'all?
On Instagram, I am Real Paige Walker. And I mean, that's the only thing I really need to say.
That'll get you there.
I mean, I've got other businesses.
yeah,
but
yeah,
And on Instagram, you can find me at James Davenport Realtor.
yeah. In the real estate world.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening today, and we love when you ask us. You can tell us what to talk about or suggest, I prefer to say. And I say this every single Tuesday. Every Tuesday, you know what it is. Keep being fabulous.